Welcome back. We start this break on a serious note. America attacked. A couple of days ago, the Libyan embassy, was it an embassy or consulate?
US embassy.
The US consulate in one of the cities in Libya was attacked by extremists, killing 4 people, including the US ambassador. What's going on here?
Well, I'm actually not sure whether it was on the September the 11th or
it was close to it.
But, you know, there's always going to be this radical group around that are wanting to kill people.
This time around, they blamed it on some movie, right? There was some movie.
Well, they do blame it on the movie, but I mean, this is all so pre-planned. I mean, they know what they want to do, when they want to do it, and whether it's a movie or not is irrelevant. The reality is that we're going to have these radicals going out and wanting to kill people and make a name for themselves. I mean, it's easy to see. It's the West or the America versus the rest. You know, this is the way it is now.
They're bringing religion into this, right? They talked about a movie that portrayed Prophet Muhammad in a bad way, because I mean, according to their belief, you cannot even have a graphical depiction of the Prophet. So this was a movie, and who made this movie, and who ever heard of this movie before this? I didn't hear of any movie before this.
You know, and this is not a problem that's concentrated with only in the U.S. You know, this is becoming a worldwide problem, a global problem. I actually do agree with Adrian on this, and certainly you brought up the point. You know, this was pre-planned. I think this had everything to do with September 11th.
Sure.
You know, it's to remind people that America is the evils of all evils, right? But I think on this one, the radicals, and look, I'm going to say it's the Muslim Islamic, you know, radicals side, right? Because the Muslims and the Islamics themselves are coming out and saying, look, we can't have these people around anymore.
Right. Saudi Arabia actually made an official announcement and you know, criticized these people.
I saw a great picture in the USA Today, you know, where, you know, women of Muslim Islamic beliefs, you know, were out there saying, you know, this is not us, this is not us. So in reality, you know, these people are not hurting the Americans. You know, these people are hurting themselves. And I bring it back here to Thailand. You know what's happening down south. You know,
it's the worst it's ever been.
It's not the religion that's doing it. It's these nut jobs,
sure,
right, that in reality are hurting the Prophet Muhammad, right? It's these people who are using his great name in vain for their own cause, whatever it may be, right? And I think that's the sad part of it.
They're doing all the things that their religion actually tells them not to do.
Exactly.
Sure it does.
You know, look, if they brought up the movie, right, as an excuse to do this, you know, come on, you know.
But no one has claimed responsibility, correct? So how do they know they used the movie? This is just all supposition. This is all speculation. And this is not acceptable.
I think this whole thing was planned around.
Whatever it was, it's criminal and evil.
It's evil, exactly.
I still think that this whole thing was planned around September 11th.
For sure.
Right? And they just want to keep, you know, pounding the message to the Americans. Look.
You're not safe wherever you go.
You know, but look, you can have gripes with America. Not a problem. But
the sad part for me, Tom, just interrupting you, is the fact that we don't think it's the Muslim radical. We actually, unfortunately, we go, it's the Muslims.
Religion.
And, you know, this is the sad part. This happened after September 11 at airports. You sat at airports sitting next to people, and people actually, you could see them shying away from it.
There was xenophobia.
It's unacceptable.
It's unacceptable. You know, and this is my point, right? They're not hurting anybody except what they believe in.
Sure.
The Muslim religion, the Islamic religion, is actually a very peaceful religion. Obviously, it has some strong points that people can interpret it in many, many ways.
As all religions.
But look, even the Christian religion tells you it's an eye for an eye.
Sure.
You don't see a lot of Christians going out there and beating up people and killing people today. The whole point is this, right? America has been attacked again, right? I think it actually gives Americans more opportunity to hate an entire religion. Right? Why would you want to do that? Right? So these radicals, whether you're in Libya, whether you're in Yemen, whether you're in Saudi Arabia,
or the south
whether
of
you're in
Thailand.
Or the south of Thailand, yeah.
Right?
What you're doing is hurting yourself.
You're creating hate.
But you know, one of the good things that I've read in the last week, and I'm really very pleased about, providing we can have some logical content and conversation, is that Prime Minister Yingluck has invited the opposition leader, Abbasid, to come together. That's really a good thing, because no one party can solve this. This is a combination of the parties, it's a combination of getting other people involved from the religions to actually talk about the issue. So if we can go forward on that.
It's not a Southern problem. It's not a Muslim problem. It's not a
a
religious problem.
Thai
It's
problem.
about nut jobs.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a nut job problem.
Sure it is.
You know, guys, you know.
We have enough time now to move on.
Actually, wait, for these guys, go play Facebook. It's okay.
Okay, we've got just this little bit of time left, and
Yes,
I've kept
yes.
this topic to the last, and this is something I want to ask Tom actually.
Okay.
We've seen,
No, I will
we've-
not use Salagra.
No. We've seen a lot of the politicians in Thailand flying to Hong Kong or Beijing or the US.
Shopping?
Including Tom.
Yeah, including yourself.
Shopping,
To
yes.
meet Kun Thaksin,
Yes.
right?
But because we can't meet him here in Thailand.
So,
Simple.
are these people tired of flying? Is Thaksin gonna ever come back?
You know, and this is the dichotomy, which is very interesting in Thai society, right? You know, people now actually, a lot of people have flown, and we may have seen in the paper, even, you know, the Bangkok police chief
Yes.
actually
right.
went to see him. There's been a lot of negative about that. You know, I mean, this is the whole thing, right? That's kind of sad for our country, right? It's being done right in front of everybody, right? And the whole point is, because there are people who have to
been
go
done-
see him,
okay.
right? There are people who have to go see him, right? You know, the whole point is just let him back in the country, you know, and then people don't have to fly, and we can say, well, okay, we get mileage, I guess that's a good thing, right? But we can save on
go back time and time again.
But then again, the answer is, of course, he can't come back, right? Because of all of these things. But when people of influence, when people of respectability in the community, right? You can't say that all the people who went to see him are bad people, right? There are good people who just don't see it the way that the other side may have seen it, and they're being public about it now. They're not, you know, going there hiding in a little hole. I mean, they go see him publicly.
People know about it.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah, I've
so-
seen them at the airport taking
so,
the
so
flight.
what is that saying now? You know, it means, look, you know, and to be fair, you know, it's been what, 6 years now? Is it 6 years after the
Yes, it
coup?
is.
Right? So Thaksin is this evil guy, according to a number of people. They nailed him for one thing, right? Which is the land case, right? That he supposedly had his wife buy it, right? Which, by the way, you know, at that time, the head of the finance ministry, the head of the Bank of Thailand said it was okay, right? 6 years, this guy's been out of the country. 4 of those years, or 5 of those years, was run by the army, was run by the Democrat government, and they nailed him for one thing, right? Isn't it time we just kind of let the guy back so I don't have to, so nobody has to fly so far to see him?
I don't know. I mean, you mentioned only one case, but there are many other cases.
But where
the
are
the
these
truth
cases?
is out there. We
Where
don't know.
no. Where are these cases? My whole point is this: you had a coup, you had an army, you had that government of the coup, you had the Democrats, you had every apparatus to nail him on every case.
But he hasn't been nailed.
But
so
why hasn't he been nailed, Adrian?
Well, he's been nailed on one now.
There's just one. That's my hope. And is this one?
You know,
But
maybe
you
it's-
had
it's-
the
we don't have
opportunity
all
for
that
5
information in
years.
front of
And there were no charges made.
Yeah,
This
he
is
had the
point.
opportunity for 5 years. You know, my joke is this, right? You really want to nail Thaksin? Bring him back and hound the heck out of him. Really. Just all the yellow shirts, all the people. I agree. Wherever he goes to dinner, wherever he goes to lunch, bring a group of people and just surround him.
All right, so we're out of time, and thank you very much for watching the topics. It was really interesting today to have Valerie and Tom joining us. It was much more lively, I would assume. Tom
We couldn't get a word in edgeways, really.
Yeah, I didn't have much to say. So
Salagra.
yeah,
Salagra, that's it.
Salagra.
don't
Do you
forget,
need
don't
50 or
forget, don't
100?
forget to catch
Don't
us.
forget to take Salagra.
Don't forget to catch us on Facebook, facebook.com/the topics, where you can share your opinions, ideas, comments, and tell us what you want us to talk about. See you next time.
Don't believe what they tell you. They try to sell you. When dreams died, plans fell through. They can never break your pride. It's time to regulate.